Hey, what's up guys? Man, what a nice day out today. I just got back from flying, and so I'm a little bit groggy, a little fatigued, so it's going to take me a little bit to get back up to normal speed. But you notice I'm wearing one of my original shirts I had made, and see, it's a little snug because, well, I'm fat. But these shirts, I don't really like them. They're polyester, but they're sublimation printed, and so I really like the way the printing is on there. And if I can get you around to the back of me, you can see the picture on the back is really nice. The problem is the shirts kind of suck. So it's just one of the things we tried. I don't really like it. So we're going to continue looking for the right shirt, the right fit, and all of that. So anyways, I just got back, like I said, and I'm looking around, and there's just some stuff that I don't like. So let's get a look at that, huh? So you see over there on my building, the birds are living up in the building ends, and they're crapping all down the side of the place. So that makes me upset. The tire fairy didn't come and fix the tire on truck X that blew out. You know, so that makes me mad. Milan guy was here today, and you know, after he cut through the fuel line on the old Freightliner chassis, he's afraid to weed eat underneath them. So he didn't do a good job around the trucks in the rocks, so I'm gonna have to go around and spray some weed killer. You see Dolores sitting over there, and Franny and Crystal and Tricia and Marla and Candy Cane, and well, they all need some attention. So I thought maybe, since I'm really not going to be in the mood to do a lot of work today, I thought maybe we could do a summary video. Some guys have asked, hey, what's the progress on this truck? What's the progress on that truck? And other people have been like, hey man, you know, it'd be a really good video as if you'd go around to each truck and kind of bring us up to date on the things you haven't done yet, because you're out buying trucks instead of home working on trucks. And I think that's a great idea too. So let's start right here. Candy, short for Candace. Call her Candy Cane a lot of times because it's such a sweet truck. But Candy is a 1989, and she's got a big Cam 4 Cummins. And let's just take a little bit of a look-see. All right, so some of the things that we have done on the truck, so put in new headlights, some new bezels. We're trying different lights for the front. I think I'm just going to eliminate the lights that are under the bumper, but I'm not 100% sure. It does need, it needs some new mirrors, needs windshields. I mean, the windshields aren't broke, but they're heavily scuffed up. I don't think they'll polish out, but we'll try. It needs the wheels, it needs new steers. The drives are okay, but the wheels are the chrome plated steels that were popular, you know, 20 years ago, and they're rusty. This tank's got a dent in it. It needs polished. I got to put a new fifth wheel on. I have the fifth wheel. I've just been lazy. It could use twin stacks. We may do something with that. I put a short stack on because I wanted to be able to get it in and out of the shop, but you know, it's just a little bit too short. So I might put dual exhaust and taller stacks on. I got to finish wiring up the mud flap lights. I've decided these tail lights, they're kind of attractive, but they're not very well designed. They're huge, you know, they don't fit real well on the taper at the back of the frame, and then they stick up, and I think it looks bad. This truck's going to get ramps on it anyway, so it won't look bad. We still got super touchy brakes, and so we got to get that addressed. I think we got some valving our airline issues, so I got to get it up there by the shop and get the wheels off it and get a look at what's going on back there. This tank's in pretty good shape. Could use a polish. You know, the paint on the truck's not too bad, but you see the paint on the door is flaking off, so that needs to be taped off and the bottom reshot. You say I got the headliner out because this roof leaked really bad, and it ended up being the air horns. And so I took those out, and there's a little bit of insulation up there, so I need to put some new insulation in. And I took before I left for work, I took the headliner out, and I took it up to the upholstery shop and got it cleaned up and rebacked. And I need to get this truck scrubbed clean on the inside, get a mattress in there, some sheets, and get that headliner back in this week. I took the headliner for this truck, the headliner for Marla, door panel for truck X, and a door panel, I think the door panel for Franny. And so I picked that stuff up and you know, get some stuff done on the trucks. I tried to find some horns that I could replace the ones that were junk on the roof of Candy here, and I haven't been able to source any, but I'm going later this week to get a radiator for Dolores, and I think I might be able to source some horns there. But anyhow, the next truck in the lineup is Marla. Now these are in no particular order. They're not in order of priority. Every one of the jobs that we have to do is just going to happen as we get the parts. A lot of people ask me why I don't just stick on one truck until it's finished and then move on. And the problem is that these old trucks, the parts are not really available. And so, you know, when you order things, sometimes it takes 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months to get the parts in, and you just, you know, you're just waiting. So let's move on. So Marla, 1985 Kenworth K100 Aerodyne. You notice on the top of my truck it doesn't have the third little step. The whale tail, the bat wing, I mean, I don't know what you call that, but you know, I desire one, so I'm going to find one and I'm going to get it put up there. But I love that truck. It does need a bumper. Unfortunately, when they pulled that thing out of the woods and towed it over to where we picked it up, they bent the front bumper, and you know, that sucks because the bumper was in pretty good shape. Would have been nice if that thing didn't need a bumper, because every one of my trucks needs one. It's $1,000 each. And so if I bought new bumpers for all the trucks, I can have 7 new bumpers, or I can have another whole truck. So I've been just choosing to get another whole truck. And so anyways, let's go on. Okay, back to Marla. So what are the things that need to get done to Marla? All right, so Marla needs those rock chips on the front fixed. It is horrible. The rest of the paint's not too bad. Now, we know that the windshields are broke, both sides. That one's all cracked up. That one's all cracked up. We know that the Aerodyne glass up there is broke, and the windshield rubbers are bad. It needs lights fixed. It needs, this truck doesn't have a whole lot of lights on it, so, you know, you can tell it was a company truck its whole life, and, you know, drivers didn't get a hold of it, and, Calby, drivers didn't get a hold of it and put a bunch of screw holes in it and a bunch of lights all over it. So I like it. It just has the factory lights, nothing special. This truck has the wheels that I don't like on the front. This is the wheels that came on Tricia, and then I was trying to diagnose a little bit of suspension problem, so I bought some new wheels and tires for Tricia, and that ended up not being the problem. But I don't like these wheels, so we need to get some round hole wheels for the front. I need to get the last pair of new tires for the back, because I still have those old trailer tires on there that I used to get here. Need to address some of the rust on the frame. It's really not bad, so it'll just be a wire wheel and rust treatment and a little touch up, because I want to keep this frame looking nice. If you see, this frame is in super good condition. I mean, for as old as this truck is, you can tell that it was, you know, very well taken care of. So I want to just get some of that rust taken care of and get the paint touched up so it looks nice. It also needs new shocks all the way around. You know, this truck just has standard flat brackets, and I like them. They're period correct, so we're going to stick to it. We've done everything we can do on the suspension other than the shocks. And I really should have put shocks on it while we were in Arkansas, but I wasn't even thinking about it. This truck is going to get the exhaust taken off. This exhaust is going to be put on Franny, likely. Or maybe it'll go on Candy. So we're going to get some nice big straight pipes. The fuel tanks on this truck, this is the stock factory fuel tank from this truck, and it's dented. I'm going to try and repair that dent, but I don't think I'll be able to. Good dent-free fenders, so I'm going to put the new Kenworth flaps on them, and that'll look good. Touch up the paint. You see the VIT interior, and this is a really nice truck. It does need some scrub-a-dub, and we're going to do that. We'll get the air conditioner in here, the portable air conditioner, get it cooled out, and we'll get this whole thing scrubbed out. I did a quickie job on it. So install the headliner, get the paint buffed, and see if we can get that paint matched, and we'll paint the front of the truck. And we'll under the hood, as far as that goes, we got take the blower off, take the valve covers off, have them cleaned up and painted or polished, clean the whole top of the motor off because it's all compacted with stuff from the squirrels, change the blower gaskets, put a high pressure, high volume fuel pump on, new injectors, run the overhead, set the jakes, rewire the jakes to the buffer switch so it works as it should, and just clean and polish and make it look shiny. Find the oil leaks, fix them, and move on. So there's the list for Marla. Next on the list, Tricia, the mother truck. Tricia is the leader of the pack. Tricia is almost done. We've done the frame, we've done the tanks, we've done all the suspension, the brakes, air lines, hoses, valves, chambers, kingpins, rod ends, alignment. Still need shocks. I got to put new shocks all the way around. Shocks are something that's super important, and it's something that I tend to overlook. It's got new glass, new rubbers, new lights. Still needs the marker lights on the sides. Air horns suck. They need rebuild kits, and the roof is in dire straits. The roof needs to be stripped down, fiberglass repair with resin and matte, and then re-gel coated. Then this truck needs a paint job. Needs a second pipe. Needs a second air cleaner or air intake pipe as well. And needs a full interior clean and restore. The interior that's in it is in good shape. It's just dirty, and I'm gonna leave it factory. Needs carpet on the driver's side. Needs some polishing. Needs wheels polished. Needs some LED headlights. Needs the grille surround polished, and needs the AC redone. So this truck is roadworthy. I drive it all the time. It'll pass any DOT inspection. The thing that I want to do to the truck, that's a want, not a need, is I want to put a new motor in it. 3406B, probably a 350. I've always called it a 400, but it's really low on power. So either it's wore out, or it's, you know, 300 or 310 or 325 or something, because it just doesn't make a lot of power. But other than cosmetics and, you know, putting an engine in it because I want one, this truck's a good truck. Good. Next truck, Crystal. Man, I love that truck. Look at the patina on that frame. I don't think you could mimic the natural patina look of this frame. At one point in time, I was going to completely redo the cab, polish it. So polish it to a mirror finish and then paint with candy, see-through candy, blue and gold stripes. So you could see the polished underneath, but you could see the stripes. And redo this frame, stretch it out, put that 8-bag cutoff over there on it, and make this a show truck. The problem is I love this truck the way it is, and I just can't talk myself into cutting this frame. So I decided we put the 12V92 in, and that's what's under the cover there. You guys saw that video. I'm gonna leave this frame. I like this wheelbase. It's 10 inches longer than Tricia is. I like the length of this wheelbase. I'm gonna put a couple new tanks on it. Well, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna put one new tank on. And when I say new, I'm gonna find a period correct 120 gallon tank that matches the other side and put it back on. Remember, we borrowed one off of this truck and put it on Tricia because she had a big dent. We're gonna put the 13 speed in here. We're gonna put, we're gonna custom make headers for the exhaust. We're gonna put 4 turbos on this, 4 exhaust pipes, probably 7 or 8 inch, 4, 7 or 8 inch exhaust pipes on this truck. We got a lot of work to do this truck. I want to drive it sometime this year yet, but I don't think this truck will be like road ready and show ready this year, but I'd like to have it be a thing. Needs the AC done. I've got the AC box out, got to do some repairs to the floor in there where there's some cracking from having that broken hinge. But the interior is nice in there. I see it's loaded with wasps right now. I can see them flying around in there, taunting me. Then this truck needs everything: brakes, shocks, bushings. But I'm gonna leave this truck the way it is. The paint's gonna look the way it is. It needs windshields and it needs a couple of cracks in the roof cap fixed. So that'll be fixed. The roof will be painted white. You see the stripes on this one are below the roof, whereas the stripes on Tricia are on the roof. That leaves it open for me to be able to redo the roof cap on this truck and paint it, and it'll last forever and won't change the look. The other thing I'm waiting on a front motor mount. Once I get the front motor mount, I'll rig that up and get the engine setting in there where I think it should be setting. And then we'll take the exhaust off and some other big stuff off, and we'll see if we can get this cab down and get it to clear. We have to get the cab down, get it on the rear bridge, and then start looking at what needs to be changed to get this motor to work. You know, it's in there. I want to leave it in there, but we'll have to see how that works. Anyways, well, that's the update for Crystal. Next truck, Franny. Man, I love that truck. Franny was a working girl her whole life, and she has had a rough go of it. But, you know, she's been rescued. She runs good. I came up with some interesting stuff. Let me flip you around here for a second. So it's really cool because, you know, a lot of guys think that I'm, you know, this master mechanic and that I know all this stuff. And, you know, for the most part, I am. I know everything there is to know about everything. I'm the best there ever was. And no, just kidding. You know what? I'm a rough carpenter. And I like heavy work, stuff that isn't designed to go well together. I like to, you know, figure out how to make it go. I like to do some custom fabrication. I'm no fabrication genius or anything. I actually have real trouble with math that you need for fabricating, but you know, I enjoy doing it. And so it's not a big deal for me. It's not a big deal for me to do big stuff. But you know, I learned something the other day. Franny here has a 3406B Caterpillar engine, and she has a 10-speed transmission. And I never had a 10-speed transmission before. Have a bunch of 9s, some 8 low-lows, some 13s, some 15s. an 18 speed in an old W900 once that I never did figure out how to shift. And when I got Franny running, I thought, what's going on? When I shift the high and low range on the shifter handle, it doesn't do anything. But when I move the shifter across the gate, the neutral gate, the thing would go in and out of high range. And I thought, well, that's the strangest thing I've ever seen. And so I called some buddies. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And, you know, had a few guys tell me, oh, it's probably this valve or this is stuck or this pin's not working, yada, yada, blah, blah. And it's been driving me crazy. And I've been trying to find, you know, like a diagram of how all of the valving and all that stuff works in the transmission. And I was in Anchorage 2 nights ago, and it was getting late, and I was thinking about this transmission, and it's something that I really want to get fixed. And so I sent just a, you know, inch-long text to Bubba Carroll. If you guys know Carroll, he's the one who rebuilt the transmission in Tricia here. And I just said, hey man, it's the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, da 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 da, and this happens when you move the shifter, you can hear it switching high and low range. And he sent me a 3-word text that just, blam, blew my mind. You know what he said? He said, it's a Super 10. It might be 4 words. It's a Super 10. And I was like, well, what does that got to do with anything? And so I went online and I was like, what is a Super 10? And there was an old Eaton advertisement and the Eaton video on how to work one of these Super 10s. It's lever, button, lever, button, lever, button, lever, button, lever, button. The actual high and low range of the transmission happens when you put it over through the gate. So you start off at first with the lever, and then you button to second, and then you lever to third, you button to fourth, and then you lever to fifth, and you button to sixth, and then you lever to 7, and you button to 8, and then you lever to 9, and you button to 10. And it's the strangest thing ever. Never knew that that was even a thing, but
This program's intended to help you, the professional driver, quickly learn how to use the Eaton Super 10 transmission, the button, the shift lever, the clutch, and the throttle. Each lever position has 2 button positions. The button controls the back box splitter shifts. The shift lever controls the front box. Instead of lever shifting through the gears, making a range change, then shifting through the pattern again, you simply shift through the pattern once, and the range is shifted automatically. With the Super 10, you button shift, then lever shift, then button, then lever. First to second is a button shift. Second to third is a lever shift. Third to fourth is a button. It's that simple.
I'm interested to drive it. I got to get the suspension part changed, and I'll show you that right quick. You see this this big cross tube that is also the airbag mount? It's a pretty vital component to keeping all of your suspension working together. Now that's a straight bar, but one that comes through the front between the axles, you see it has to have a drop in it for the drive shaft to go through. And you see this one is rusted right through. And those are made out of unobtainium. So we're looking for it. But 3406B, Super 10. A little bit of body work needed on the sleeper, and I'm going to try and do that myself. I'm going to paint this truck myself. You know, they drug it to where I found it with no wheels on it, so they drug through the steps. I do have those sourced, so I'll be replacing those. I bought the wheels out of the woods and bought the tires used just to roll it over here. So those wheels need to be cleaned and buffed, and but otherwise they're serviceable. It does have a couple of broken exhaust manifold studs, so she's got the and then, you know, it smokes out the gasket because the gasket's blown. But we're gonna get that this week. we're gonna get this truck parked in a place that I don't have to move it from, and we'll get that exhaust manifold off and start working on getting those head bolts or those manifold studs out of there. And I've got new manifolds and turbos and all kinds of stuff. And when I say new, I mean new to the truck, not new to the world. So I've got replacement parts for it. So we'll get that exhaust manifold done, and while we're in there, we're going to take all the exhaust off this truck because it's going to get new exhaust put on it after the paint job. So I haven't done anything else as far as normal maintenance to the truck, so it's going to require all the standard stuff, drums and shoes and bushings and slack adjusters and chambers and hoses and lines and valves. So you know it needs about 10,000 in parts. It needs new windshields and rubbers. It needs new grill surround. I'm looking for a grill surround for this model truck that's not chrome. This truck's not going to have any chrome on it. I'm planning on painting it the same color, which is this, it's kind of a royal maroon. And so I'll be painting it that color, and everything that's chrome or aluminum on the truck is going to be black. So that'll be the design on this truck. So anyways, that's that. Dolores. Look at it, would you? Man, I love you, Dolores. Dolores loves me too. I don't know if you guys remember, but Dolores did try to end our relationship early. She didn't want to be resurrected. She wanted to stay in what she thought was her final resting place. And you know, sometimes when you disturb something that's resting in peace, it tends to haunt you. But if you remember Dolores from her videos, she had a Big Cam 3 400 in it that was blown up, and we put the original 8V92 from the channel. The very first video ever was of getting this engine running after 20 years. All right, so you see Dolores has got square headlights, 1984 model. I believe first year for the squares. Short cab, you know, single bunk. Does have the flares on it. They are painted to match, so that's kind of cool. She has the steel wheels with the chrome hubcaps. She's got big tanks. She's got the fat tanks, the fat tank steps. She's got 8V92 435 green motor, 1978. She's got 13-speed transmission, custom everything. Recut the shifter tube, remade the clutch tube, remade the drive shaft. That's a custom-made drive shaft, big end. This has got some small rear ends in it, which is, you know, unfortunate. Same suspension design as Franny, but I love this truck. It's not in really bad shape. You know, it's going to need standard repair items, drums, shoes, S-cam, bushings, slack adjusters, chambers, hoses, valves, lines, wiring. But the one thing that it's been taking me a long time on this truck because I couldn't find a radiator. I have sourced a radiator, and I will be picking that up this week. And my goal is to have the radiator in and mounted and cooling system capped up in that truck and running to see if that motor's any good or not, or if I have to do some leak repair. But I'd like to have that radiator in and maybe get it on some wheels and tires and test that transmission out. But a lot of stuff that has to be done to Dolores, some interior stuff. I can't really get in there where it's sitting. So, and the next truck is Truck X, and you're all familiar with that truck. It has missing rear diffs and transmission, and has a locked up 3406C model, as in Charlie. Anyway, we've all looked at that truck. It was in dire straits, but we got her cleaned out inside, and we did try and get that old locked up motor to work, and it didn't. So summary for this one is I have found the rear diffs, and I'm in the process of acquiring them. It's kind of the cart before the horse, but I want to get my hands on them before they're not there. They are actually the differentials that came out of this truck. They're on property where this truck came from, and I worked a deal with the guy, and I've got him coming. It needs battery box covers, full exhaust, standard semi-truck repair, drums, shoes, S-cam bushings, chambers, slack adjusters, hoses, relay, valves, complete air system. Complete exhaust, which is fine. I'm collecting up quite a lot of old exhaust parts, so I need to make a junk run pretty soon. This I'm on the fence on this truck. I may put a cat motor in it, but I may also put that STC 365 Cummins in there if it runs good. I'm not a Cummins fan, but I have the motor sitting here. So unless somebody wants to trade me a running 3406 B or C for a running STC 365, this is probably going to be Cummins powered. It's a nice truck. We don't have a title yet. We do have a bill of sale. We're looking for a title. We're hoping that that doesn't become an issue. A little bit of damage on the front, fiberglass. Trucker Style Sean said he'd come over and fix that stuff. Needs windshields. And, you know, full meal deal. So Truck X is going to be a while. I didn't buy this truck to immediately put it back out on the road, but I would like to get engine trans and rear diffs, drive shaft in it, so I can get in, start the truck, move it when necessary. So that's it, guys. That's a summary of what's happening at my shop. Obviously, if you watched today's video, you saw the Marmon, and we will be going and getting that this week if it all works out, and we'll have truck number 8 on the lot. And I'll probably move these trucks down a little bit and stick the Marmon right in that hole, and we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But for now, guys, that's all I got for you. I do appreciate you coming by. I hope this video is good stuff and you guys enjoy watching it. And I would like to say thank you so much for being part of the channel. I'd like to get the channel growing big enough so that it can kind of help out with purchasing parts and trucks to keep the channel going. This is a very, 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 very expensive job. And you know, I don't care if I make money from the show, but I would really love to be able to buy more trucks and do more things and not be doing it out of pocket. But anyways, I do appreciate you guys, and we'll have some merchandise coming up on jamespretty.shop. Model in stock, but it's a Franny shirt. I'm working on getting Tricia, Marla, and Candy shirts going, and we'll probably even have some Truck X and Dolores and Crystal shirts, and maybe some Belvedere shirts and stuff like that, all in good time. We'll do keychains and hats, and you know, we'll have a little cartoon shirt of me and Jessica, you know, hanging out by one of the trucks, and hopefully you guys like that stuff, and we can sell a bunch of them and buy some truck parts. Anyways, thanks for coming by, and we'll see you.